As I'm sure you're aware of by now, having listened to Pastor Nancy's sermon, today we begin our stewardship campaign, and this is the kickoff of that campaign. And as the elder who chairs the stewardship commission, I'd like to share just a few thoughts very briefly about stewardship and about being a good steward. First, stewardship refers to our management and our use, as we heard Pastor Nancy in her sermon, of all of our God-given resources. Usually when the topic of stewardship comes up, I've found most people think of one thing: money. And yet, from a biblical point of view, stewardship is all-inclusive. It touches every aspect of our lives, every area of our lives. Second point, as God's people, we recognize that all of creation and everything that we have comes out of God's abundance and provision and are gifts from Him, and that we are simply caretakers or managers, if you will. We're not owners. It's so hard to grasp that concept because we tend to think we own everything we have, and we do not. Thirdly, an important part of stewardship and of being a good steward is giving, which is nothing other than a spiritual practice whereby we offer our talent, our testimony, our time, and our treasure to God. God calls us to be givers. He created us in His image. And as God is a giver, we are to be givers, generous givers. In our giving, we are able to participate in God's work in the world, and we participate in the transforming work that God wants to do in each of us. In other words, stewardship is God's resources deployed through God's people to accomplish God's mission. And on behalf of the Stewardship Commission, I once again want to express great gratitude to God for His faithfulness to us and to all of you, all members, all friends of Camp Hill Presbyterian Church, who for the past year have given so faithfully, so generously, so sacrificially of your talent, testimony, time, and treasure. Your sharing of your God-given talents and gifts, your countless hours of volunteering and serving in leadership roles, your modeling of Christ's love to those whom you meet every day, your serving and reaching out to all those in need in our faith community and in our community at large, and your generous giving of financial resources have not only enabled us to continue the ministries that we have here, but you have allowed us and empowered us to create and start new ministries, exciting ministries, to reach our community and move forward in making our vision a reality for the future. Last night, as I was thinking about what I was going to say, I sat down and I made a list of more than 100 ways that I could think of in about 5 to 10 minutes in which members and friends of CHPC gave of their time, testimony, talent, and treasure this past year. There's no doubt in my mind that that CHPC is a giving church. So this morning, as we enter the last 2 months of our current fiscal year, we embark on yet another stewardship campaign, which will run from starting today through the end of May. Our theme this year, as you heard in the sermon, we are stewards of various things. Today, it was of creation. And we arrived at this by drawing upon our mission study that was done back in 2018, 2019, I believe, and in the leadership retreat that we held just this past January, and where we sought to define who we are in order to be able to clarify our vision, for ministry and mission in this season of life here at CHPC. and develop a plan for how we're going to use our talent, our time, our testimony, and our treasure. Sermons over the next 4 weeks will focus on the various ministries and various ways in which we define who we are. Various deacons and elders who represent the various ministries and programs here at CHPC will be sharing a moment of ministry each Sunday. As in past years, we will be mailing out a letter along with a commitment card and a narrative budget brochure to each giving unit in the congregation. We ask again that you prayerfully consider making a commitment to support the vital ministries of CHPC in the year 2022-23. Thank you.